Mr. Brian Maskell, who's with me as an advisor on machinery of government.
Okay. Welcome. Look, you're both either welcome to sit or stand, just however it works for you.
In terms of my submission, I would say that the essence of the submission is that the topic of fluoridation of water, the assessment of risks and benefits, has not been sufficiently explored, and that for that to occur, that the original policy of setting up fluoridation water supplies 40 years ago, I would ask that that be revisited, because that policy is now based on evidence which is 40 years old, and also that the regulatory impact assessment, we should be really revisiting that, because this paper is based on an assumption that the regulatory impact assessment, one has been done for the original policy, and it hasn't. So for us to move forward, really to extend a policy which is really doesn't have in effect a legal, strong legal basis, we can get ourselves into trouble. And that's really why I have Mr. Maskell, Brian Maskell, with me to explain that aspect. Because really everything, the discussion about harms and benefits, really falls out of that. So, I'd like to hand over to you, Brian.
Thank you, Paul. Madam Chair, members of the committee, as you're probably aware, we have a requirement, CABINET guidelines for regulatory impact assessments and regulatory impact statements. This is the MOH regulatory impact statement for this particular matter. We've been through this in some considerable detail, and there are many relevant considerations that are not included in this regulatory impact statement. And relevant considerations are fundamental to the processes of good law making. There is therefore a major concern which we'd like to convey to your committee, that the homework has simply not been done on this matter. The more recent material that has arisen since the time of this inception by the Ministry of Health of the policy to fluoridate public water supplies is highly material. The evidence shows that the benefits that the Ministry has been claiming, as we heard in a previous speaker a moment ago, is simply not present. The level of benefit that comes out of the arithmetic shows that at best, there may be a slight marginal improvement for the prevention of dental caries, somewhere in the region of 1 or less than 1%. So it's lost in the noise. So the real benefit that's being claimed is simply not there. In addition, we are coping with a matter where the issue needs to be defined not purely as dental caries, because I think we will acknowledge that dental caries arises from a high sugar diet. Sugar diets lead to other factors. Sugar diets and the addiction to sugar, which is an addictive substance, leads to other matters as well. It leads to obesity. It's a major factor in obesity. It leads to diabetes type 2. It leads to extremely serious matters. We are fortunate to have dental caries as an early warning system. We should not be defining the issue as dental caries. The issue is very clearly high sugar diets. It is very simple. If we start to use statutory powers to add further leverage to what is already arguably, on the evidence, a faulty policy of some 40 years standing, then we are committing, I think, a major breach of trust for the people of this country.
Interesting speaking.
Thank you for
And
your...
not quite good.
Yeah.
In quite such a clear way.
if we can be of further assistance to the committee, we have some substantial material where we've been analysing this. I'll also be appearing shortly with Dr. Mike Godfrey, and his paper we've issued a preliminary notes to you on this sort of matter, setting out the seriousness of the situation as the Paul here is also a member of the Physicians and Scientists for Government Responsibility, an international linked organisation. There's a very serious matter here which we'd very much like to assist your committee further with if you can.
If there's anything that you have there that you would like to leave in the cart for information, we're very happy for you to do that. So, yeah.
Yes, I could give you a reference here that relevant considerations is a fundamental principle of administrative law.
If you want to pass that on to the clerk,
We'd certainly be happy to do that. So we'll wait for a natural break in your proceedings, Madam Chair, and then do.
No, you could probably just take it around
Go over
if you like, because there's not going to be too many natural breaks. I don't think. It's only